Hi everyone, welcome to Trishakti by Ambika. I'm Ambika and I'm here to talk about a divinely received modality that I have been practicing since quite some time. That is aura augmentation and healing. Before I explain to you what this modality is all about and how it can help you, let us have a little understanding of what is energy, what is aura, how it impacts us, and what we can do about it. And more importantly, how can aura augmentation and healing can help us here. So, understand one thing that everything around us is energy. Everything that exists in this universe is energy. And this includes people, places, plants, animals, objects, everything. Everything around us is energy. This energy looks like a luminous glow of light. In case of human beings, it looks like a luminous glow of light around the physical body. So this luminous glow of light around the physical body, that is our energy. It has many layers. It has multiple layers, 7 layers to be precise. And each layer of this energy has its own importance and significance. That is why it is called an energetic field or an auric field. This auric field of ours is directly connected and related to our mental, emotional, physical, psychological, and spiritual well being. Any disturbance caused in this auric field of ours may have direct impact on our overall well being and state of mind. Hence, it's extremely important to keep this field absolutely clear and pure and unperturbed. However, we are human beings walking on this third dimensional earth plane. It's very difficult to keep this field clear because we go through some or the other experiences. We go through our own life challenges, ups and downs. We meet people, we go through experiences that may be pleasant or unpleasant and that may impact us emotionally. And those emotions then stay and get stored in our auric field. Imagine the kind of impact it begins to create once it stays in your auric field for a prolonged period of time. Take example of our homes. Our home is a very personal space for all of us, right? It's a space where we feel absolutely safe, protected, secured, and we do not allow strangers. We have locks, we have not one but two entrance doors, right? Just to keep ourselves safe and not allow any outsider or a stranger inside. And we keep our home absolutely clean and decorated so that we feel nice, right? Similarly, influence, presence, or impact of any external energy or person or experience in your auric field may begin to disturb your inner well being and state of mind. That is why it becomes absolutely important to keep this field clear. As I said, as human beings, it's difficult for us to control these experiences. But if we are aware what can create, this kind of contamination of our auric field and how it impacts us in different ways, then we can definitely take some measures about it. So let me tell you and share with you some of the factors that can contaminate your energy field or the auric field. Number one, if there is a repetitive thought, a recurrent thought, and for example, that thought is, what if something wrong happens with me? What if something bad happens with me or my family member? Now, imagine the kind of emotion that this thought will generate. And if this thought is repetitive or recurring, this emotion of fear or anxiety that this thought will generate, where does it go? It stays in your auric field. So as you begin to feel this fear and anxiety with this recurrent thought, it begins to start playing up in your auric field. And if you continue to feel this or get this thought and have this emotion for a prolonged period, this emotion stays for a long period in your auric field and begins to impact you otherwise. Another possibility is, for example, you're going through a situation and that situation is making you feel extremely fearful or sad or frustrated or irritated or it's making you feel absolutely anxious. In that situation, for whatever period that situation lasts, that situation may get over after some time, let's say after a few weeks or months or years. But what happens to those emotions that you felt when that you were in that situation? What happens to those feelings of fear or sadness or loneliness or guilt or anger that you felt going through this situation? That situation is over, but those emotions continue to stay in your auric field and continue to impact you otherwise. Another possibility of getting this auric field contaminated is of revisiting crowded places. Now imagine crowded places, all kind of people, so many people, their energies. Since all of us are energy and all of us have this auric field or energetic field around us, when we come in contact with each other, especially in such crowded places, we knowingly or unknowingly end up absorbing the energies of other people. There is also a possibility when we meet people, whether these are the people whom we love, like, or we interact on a day-to-day basis as contacts or as colleagues or friends or neighbors, it may happen that we may get entangled in their stories, in their lives, and again, knowingly or unknowingly, we may end up absorbing their energies, right? Another possibility is of visiting hospitals. Now imagine hospital where not just the patient who's suffering something or getting treated for something, but even the family members of that patient are worried or anxious or fearful or sad or depressed for seeing their loved one or family member in this situation. And of course, all that they are going in their own personal space. So that becomes a hub, of such heavy and dense energies. And when we visit such places, we again knowingly or unknowingly absorb these energies. Now imagine when our auric field becomes a storehouse of all these energies, heavy energies, and negative vibrations from the environment, from the people around us. How does it feel? How will it start impacting us? Of course, it will make you feel lost or anxious or fearful or anger. And if you are already feeling angry or edgy or irritated before this energy contamination of your auric field happened, after this contamination, you may begin to feel the intensity of these emotions much more. And that may start affecting your mental and emotional state of mind, right? Now, understand what are the possibilities of the ways a contaminated energetic field can impact us. Number one, if we are continuously feeling these emotions and these emotions continue to stay for a prolonged period of time in our auric field, it will naturally make us feel lost or anxious or angry or sad for a prolonged period of time, right? Another possibility is when we are experiencing all this, what do you think the kind of experiences that we will attract would be? As the law of attraction says, we don't attract what we want, but we end up attracting what we are or what we think we are, or how we are feeling. So if you are feeling dull or depressed or angry or anxious or edgy or irritated, imagine the kind of experiences you will invite and attract in your space. Similar experiences, right? And which will again end up making you feel the same or maybe more edgy and anxious. Another possibility is where if these emotions stay in your auric field for a prolonged period of time, it may trigger a unhealed or an unresolved past life. Now, not necessarily all past lives that we've been through, whether we believe it in or not necessarily all of them are complete, accomplished, or satisfying. There could be a possibility of some past lives where something has remained unfinished or unresolved or unhealed. So, if we are feeling a certain emotion or we are feeling a certain way for a long period of time, it stays and that energy stays in our auric field, it may attract or trigger an unhealed or an unresolved past life of the similar nature. And then you begin to feel the impact of that life also, and you may not know why. Another possibility where it can impact you is an attachment of an external energy. Now, if you are vibrating with at a certain frequency of anger and feeling this anger at a certain intensity, and that stays for a long period of time in your auric field, there is a possibility that an external energy feeling the same, sensing that resonance, may get attached in your auric field. And if you are feeling that anger at a unit of 5, you may begin to, after the attachment of this external energy or foreign energy, you may begin to feel the same anger at an intensity of 8 or 10. Another way this can impact you is also when these emotions stay in your auric field. Understand one thing: every second person or an expert in this field of alternative therapy in medicine has time and again said this, that whenever there is an imbalance or disturbance between the mind and the soul, it will manifest as a disease in the physical body. Physical body is the last one to get impacted. And understand one thing: all three are connected: the physical body, the mind, and the soul. So, for example, we have, we are experiencing certain emotion for a prolonged period of time, right? Definitely, it will cause some disturbance at a mind level and then at a soul level too. And when that imbalance or disharmony between the mind and soul is there, it will directly manifest as a disease in your physical body. So, when you are feeling these emotions, and these emotions continue to stay in your auric field for a long period of time, what happens to these emotions? Do we do anything about it? No. Since we are unaware, we don't know what to do about it. And when they stay in this field, what happens is that these emotions, they release certain chemicals, and these chemicals have affinity towards certain organs or parts of the body. So they get attached and stored in that part and organ of the body later on over a period of time, resulting in having a disease in the physical body, in that particular area, part, or organ of the body. So that is how it can have impact on our physical body also. So it's absolutely important to ensure that our auric field is absolutely clear all the time. And if at all we cannot control the circumstances and the situations, the experiences as human beings, at least we can ensure that we do something about it to keep clearing our auric field and to ensure that it remains clean. Just imagine, every day we get dirty, right? We move out and we are exposed to pollution, dirt, and everything. And we take bath, we take showers, right? And we feel clean, we wear new clothes so that we feel clean inside. Similarly, if through certain experiences that we go through on a day-to-day basis, and something that we are accumulating in the form of energy on a day-to-day basis, which is not ours, which is of someone else, and which may not be healthy for us, don't you feel it's important that we do something about it? This is exactly what aura augmentation and healing is all about. So, in this modality, there will be an aura scan of the person that will be done, and this is not going to be done with some machine. I will be scanning the aura of the person, and after scanning the aura of the person, I'll be able to help you identify what are these energetic and mental blocks in your space. If there is any attachment of any unhealthy energies or external energies, so that will be identified and released. These mental and emotional knots in your auric field will be identified and released. If at all there is any heavy energy that is stuck or stored in a particular part or organ of the body, that will be released through this after identifying the same. Also, if at all it has resulted in triggering any past life, and if that unhealed or triggered past life is impacting you in some way, we will be able to identify that also in the aura scan. And depending on what is in your highest interest, and based on what is the guidance that we receive from the ascended masters and guides, we will be able to understand how to deal about that. If I am guided to help you release the impact of that energy or that unhealed past life, in the session itself, I'll be able to do that. If at all we receive some other guidance, we may have to follow that. So this is how through your aura scan, everything will be identified. All these possibilities, will be identified. The challenges or anything that has contaminated your auric field and is impacting you in a negative way will be identified and released. Over and above this, if at all there is any guidance that comes through your spirit guides for you to practice some method or an exercise or a ritual or a practice that can help you keep your field clear, or that can help you work on the impact of those energies that you are experiencing, the clearance and release has taken place. But if something is very deep and heavy, then it may take some time to dissolve or release it. So if at all there is any guided exercise or method that comes through, that will be shared in your session. So if you feel the need to augment your aura and experience this modality, feel free to connect with me on the email ID given in the description. Thank you so much.